These astronauts are arriving on an unknown planet millions of light years from Earth to investigate what went wrong with a colonization mission that was sent 2 decades ago. The year is 2200, and humans have achieved the ability to travel at the speed of light. As a result, mankind has colonized planets all over the universe. Now, the crew of a spaceship called the United Planets Cruiser C-57D is going to investigate what happened to an earlier mission that was sent to colonize a planet called Altair 4. The mission left Earth 20 years ago and has been out of contact ever since. C-57D arrives in the Altair system, and the commander of the ship, Captain Adams, oversees the operations. As they are about to enter the planet's atmosphere, Adam informs the crew that the planet has similar air and gravity to Earth, which means they will not need spacesuits. Next, the ship receives radio communication from somebody on the ground. It is a man named Edward Morbius, who is a survivor of the previous mission. Adam happily informs Morbius that they are here to rescue him, but he strangely replies that he does not need a rescue. He tells Adam they should just turn their ship around and return home. Adam says his orders are to land on Altair 4 and investigate the situation, so he cannot go back. And Morbius replies that if Adam and his crew choose to land, he will not be responsible for their safety. Adam decides to land anyway, and discusses with his crewmates Jerry and Ostro that something is fishy. After they land on the planet, they notice a vehicle driving towards them. When the vehicle reaches them, they see that it is being driven by a robot. The robot says his name is Robbie, and he is here to take them to the residence of Morbius. The cook of the crew asks if the robot is male or female. He is down bad. Adam, Jerry, and Ostro get on the vehicle and go to Morbius's residence. Upon their arrival, Morbius once again expresses his desire to be left alone on this planet, but nonetheless, he invites them in for lunch. After lunch, they ask Morbius where such delicious food came from, and he informs them that Robbie simply needs a sample of a food item to analyze, and then he can duplicate it and create as much quantity of it as needed. He also points out that Robbie will follow any command, even one that harms him. Ostro insinuates that this also makes Robbie a weapon. In response to this, Morbius asks Adam for his firearm. He gives the firearm to Robbie and asks him to shoot Adam. Robbie begins to short-circuit, and Morbius explains that Robbie has a built-in instinct to not harm any rational living being. Hence, he cannot be a weapon. The crew ask Morbius where he found Robbie, and Morbius replies that he created him. Adam is suspicious of how that is possible because Morbius is an expert in languages, not science. Morbius cryptically replies that Adam underestimates him. Morbius says it's time for them to leave, but Adam wants to know what happened to the other members of the mission that came to this planet with Morbius. Morbius says that all the other members were killed by some wicked force on this planet, and only his wife and he were immune. Ostro asks where his wife is now, and he replies that she died of natural causes. Adam asks how the rest of the crew died, and Morbius replies they were torn limb from limb by the wicked force, but he never managed to catch it in the act. Adam says it's suspicious that only Morbius and his wife survived whatever being attacked the rest of the crew, and also that in the last 20 years, the being has never bothered Morbius again. Morbius replies that the only way he and his wife were different from other crew members was that they loved Altair 4 and did not want to return to Earth. A beautiful young woman enters the room, and Morbius introduces her. Her name is Alta, and she is his daughter. The crew is immediately smitten by her beauty, and never having met a human man other than her father, she is equally interested in them. Jerry wastes no time and begins smooth-talking Alta as he invites her to drink coffee with him. To increase his chances, he also badmouths Ostro and Adam in front of her. He's even more down bad than the cook. Morbius asks Adam if they will be leaving the planet now, but Adam replies that since the situation has changed somewhat, he needs to get new orders from Earth. To contact Earth, his crew will need to build a very powerful communication device, and that will take at least 10 days. Morbius offers to have Robbie help them to expedite the process. The next day, Robbie and Alta arrive at the ship where the building process has begun. The cook asks Robbie to make some alcohol for him, while Jerry takes Alta into some nearby bushes. He tells her that men and women kiss often in all modern civilizations. He adds that it creates stimulations in the body that help maintain health. They kiss multiple times. but Alta says she feels no stimulation whatsoever. Poor guy. Just then, Adam arrives and dismisses Jerry. He gives Alta a lecture about covering herself up properly and not falling prey to men like Jerry. He gets angry when Alta doesn't understand because she's never been exposed to Earth's customs. Alta is upset by his shouting and leaves. Alta comes home and asks Robbie to make her a dress that will cover her up more properly. At night, something invisible enters the C-57D and messes with the instruments while the crew is asleep. The next morning, Adam is outraged at the crew members who are on guard duty for the night. One of them reports hearing heavy breathing outside the ship, but they are all certain that they were up all night and saw nothing enter. Adam and Ostro go to speak to Morbius, and Adam purposely leaves Jerry behind. As they arrive at Morbius's house, they are told by Robbie that he is in his study and not to be disturbed. While they wait for him, Adam finds Alta swimming completely naked. He apologizes to her for the way he spoke to her the day before and admits that watching her kiss other men bothered him. She gets out of the pool and puts on a completely covering dress that she made specifically for him. Adam compliments her and proceeds to explain to her that what she's been taught about hugging and kissing is strictly biological theory, but there is more to those acts. She asks what he is talking about, and he demonstrates by passionately kissing her. She reciprocates his passion. Some time passes, and Adam and Ostro get tired of waiting. They break into Morbius's study and find a piece of paper with strange writing on it. Morbius arrives, and they inform him about the break-in at their ship. Morbius understands that they suspect him, and he decides to tell them the complete truth. Morbius tells them that a long time ago, Altair 4 was inhabited by a race of beings called the Krell. Krell were incredibly intelligent creatures, and far ahead of humans of today in technology and ethics. However, at the peak of their success, their civilization mysteriously went extinct. Morbius takes Adam and Ostro on a tour of a Krell laboratory. He shows them Krell metal and demonstrates that it is completely indestructible. Next, he shows them documents that contain Krell knowledge and history, and explains that it is by translating these documents over the past 20 years that he's managed to attain the kind of knowledge required to build a contraption like Robbie. They see an old Krell machine that reveals the IQ of the person who uses it. It is revealed that Morbius has a significantly higher IQ than both Ostro and Adam. The machine channels the power of Morbius's mind, and he creates an image inside it using just his thoughts. Adam wants to have a go at it, but Morbius doesn't allow him, saying that it could be fatal to him. He says that the first time he tried to create an image, he passed out and remained unconscious for 2 days. When he woke up, he found out that the shock had somehow doubled his brain power and intellectual capacity, which is why now he can use the machine, but only for a little while before it starts straining him again. Morbius says that his latest translations of the Krell documents have revealed that near the end of their civilization, Krell were obsessed with erasing the need for instruments and developing the ability to create purely from the power of their minds. Next, Morbius shows Adam and Ostro a giant contraption that sinks deep into the core of the planet and harnesses the power of 9,200 thermonuclear reactors. He says the contraption strangely registers changes in its gauges when activity happens on the surface of the planet. For example, it registered a significant change when C-57D landed. Meanwhile, the crew back at C-57D set up a high-tech fence around the ship that will destroy anything and anyone that tries to pass through it. Later at night, something passes through the high-tech fence, but the crew thinks it's merely the fence short-circuiting because they can't see whatever passed through. Next, they hear a scream from inside the ship. Adam argues with Morbius that the Krell knowledge should be shared with the rest of humanity back on Earth. But Morbius says that man is not ready for such advancements yet. He says that he will send whatever knowledge he deems safe to Earth from time to time, but in making that decision, he will only be answerable to himself. Just then, Adam receives word that someone has been murdered on the ship by an unknown and unseen being. As Adam and the crew bury the crew member, Morbius arrives and says that he warned them the moment they came near this planet not to land, and now whatever happened to his crew is happening again. After he leaves, Adam and Ostro discuss that they should probably use the Krell machine and expand their brain power as well, to try and better understand what is going on here. Next, Adam has the crew set up giant blaster cannons and a detection radar in case the invisible creature arrives again. Sure enough, the creature returns, and Adam and the crew throw their full might into attacking it. Even with their full retaliation, the creature remains unharmed and manages to kill 2 more crew members, including Jerry, before leaving of its own will. At the same time that this happens, Morbius is woken up in his study by Alta's screams, who says she just had a dream of a giant beast attacking the crew. Back at the ship, Adam and Ostro discuss that a creature that can withstand such a powerful attack is a scientific impossibility. They decide that they must use the Krell machine and expand their IQs to understand this situation. As they arrive at Morbius's house, Adam says that he'll be the one to use the Krell machine because it is too dangerous. Alta lets the men in, and Adam says to her that they have to leave this planet. Alta tells him to leave by himself, because she cannot leave her father alone, nor can she force him to come with them. Unbeknownst to both of them, Ostro has used the Krell machine against Adam's orders. He is in terrible condition, but with his dying breaths, he informs Adam that the Krell actually did manage to achieve the ability to create using only their minds. They did it by using the giant contraption that connects to this planet's core. However, they forgot that their minds also house the monsters of the ID, the basest level of their subconscious. Morbius arrives, and he and Adam figure out that when the Krell minds connected to the contraption, the destructive monsters hidden in their subconscious came to life and destroyed their empire. Morbius asks if all the Krell are dead. How is a monster still roaming the planet today? And Adam scoffs at the fact that he can't face the truth. Robbie detects the monster close to the house. Adam tells Morbius that the monster is from his ID. It's his subconscious creation. Morbius does not believe it. As the monster draws near the house, Morbius tells Robbie to kill it. But Robbie cannot fulfill that order because he sees the monster as an extension of Morbius. Alta, Adam, and Morbius hide in the Krell lab, and Adam tells Morbius to face the truth. He says that the monster is from his ID, which is why it never harmed him or his wife. It harmed the other crew members from his mission, who voted to return to Earth, something that he did not want to do. It also started harming the C-57D crew when Adam threatened to share the knowledge of Krell with Earth, something that he felt he had exclusive rights to. Now, it even wants to harm Alta because she is in love with Adam against Morbius's wishes. The monster starts melting the indestructible Krell metal, and Adam says it's because it has roughly 9,200 thermonuclear reactors powering it from the giant contraption. As it melts the entire door, Morbius faces the truth and denounces his base-level destructive urges from the heart, which puts an end to the monster. However, doing so takes all life out of Morbius. With his final breaths, Morbius has Adam start the self-destruct process for the entire planet, and he tells Alta and Adam to leave. Alta and Robbie join the crew of C-57D as they begin their return journey to Earth. They watch on as Altair 4 self-destructs. Adam says to Alta that one day, when humanity reaches the level of the Krell advancement, her father's name will shine again. And on that day, humans must remember that they are still not God, only human. Thank you for watching.